Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video with me, the Tinkering Dad. As you saw in the previous clip, and as you probably guessed, this episode is about this chainsaw. It's a very old chainsaw. I think it's from mid 70s to late 70s, somewhere around there. And it's basically, as far as I know, been sitting in a barn and never been used except for in the late 70s. I started it and it, barely works. It starts pretty easy, at least for a machine that hasn't been started for 40 years or so. But the problem is that when you do a full throttle, it revs up and then it dies. Or at least it chugs down to low rev again and then back up. I have previously changed the spark plug, which is on the back here. And I also changed the air filter, which is behind here. Mainly because both of them were, as I said, very old. But none of that helped. So my next thing to fix, and which I'll probably think is the main problem, is that the carburetor is probably faulty, or the membranes in the carburetor are, since I know they're so old, they're probably dried up and doesn't work that good. So I have ordered a new kit, a rebuild kit for that carburetor, and that's what I will start by doing. So I will open this up here and remove the carburetor and reinstall everything that's on it, and then see if the chainsaw works better. After that, I have some other small issues I will see if I can fix, like this. It's hanging loose. I think I can wind it up one more turn in here, I think. I hope so. And also this chain brake is broken here at the bottom. We'll see if I can fix that somehow. I don't think I will do a complete overhaul of it. If it works satisfying, I'm happy with it. So we'll see. And also, it's very dirty at this moment. There's cobwebs and things like that, lots of dirt. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. So I will start by opening this where the air filter is. I will see how to go from there. This is the new oil filter, the new air filter. So it goes like this. Good. And here's the carburetor. Not sure how to remove that. I think I have to remove those two screws. This is the choke that's blocking the hole, the air hole here. So if I engage the choke, it shuts off, not completely, but it blocks the air, so the engine gets more fuel and less air. see some spacers below here, so I will take it carefully here not to lose any parts. Okay. This is um, I'm not sure what's holding this back. Oh, okay. This is the lever for when you're starting it. You can engage the throttle and hook it up, so it gets a little throttle when you start it, so you don't have to press the throttle. Don't have to remove that. Good. Okay, there's another small spacer here. Some piece of foam. Okay, I think that's it. So that's the carburetor, and it was held in place by those two screws that I took out from the beginning. The air sucks in there, and the fuel. This is the fuel tank. So it comes from, I think it's a pipe below here that goes in on the other side. See if I can pull it out. Yeah, the throttle goes here. This tiny little wire here. So if I that's the throttle. It pulls this lever, which inside here turns. Well, it opens and shuts the hatch in here to regulate how much air the engine gets. So I have to remove that. There. Okay, the carburetor is loose. I'm not sure what that is for. I'm not sure if you can see here. The bottom is the fuel pipe. The fuel comes in here. That's this pipe here. I'm not sure about the upper one, where that comes from. Well, so this is the inlet here. It goes straight, throws all the fuel and air straight into the cylinder in there. And this is the carburetor. It's a Sama C1. Sama C1. Yeah, I hope this is the correct kit. I bought the rebuild kit for. Here we can see more clearly. This is a throttle. If I accelerate the engine, this turns to let more air and fuel in. And I release the throttle, it closes. It looks pretty clean. We'll see if I need to clean it or not. Everything looks pretty smooth. And of course, these are the adjustment screws. One of these is, this is the high screw, the low screw, and I think this is the idle screw. Like I said on this one here. Yeah, this should go like this. Yeah, that's the high screw, the low screw, and the idle screw. Good. I'll adjust those later if everything works as it should. Okay, let's get to fixing this carburetor. Okay, so here we have the carburetor. It's pretty small. And the repair kit I have bought is it contains gaskets and the pump and metering diaphragms, I think it's called, and all the little pins and needles and springs and things like that. Everything that moves inside this. So I'll start with the pump side. Oh, didn't think about that. The throttle, the throttle spring came loose, of course. I think you can sit there. Okay, this is one whole piece. Looks okay, perhaps a little bit dirty. And then we should have a gasket. Oops. This should be two parts. Perhaps they're just stuck together. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the gasket one. And this is the more rubbery pump system with the flaps. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think we have the spare part for this. You can see inside here there is a little filter, which is replaced here. If I can get it out. It's like a little net. That should be replaced too. Okay. Okay, so this is the metering side. Let's pull that out. Let's see what we got here. Inside here we have the pin and the spring below there. All these parts should be, I should have gotten all these parts. It should also be a gasket and then the metering diaphragm. Let's see if I can pull those apart. It is this piece that I think is the problem with the carburetor. So this should be smooth like rubber or something. It should not sound like this and be stiff and fragile. Okay. So on this pump side, I will have to remove this small filter, the steel filter inside there, since that came with the rebuild kit. I think I'll use some small screwdriver. See if I can pull that out. There we go. Doesn't look too bad, but since I got a new one, I will replace it. Check down in here, see if everything looks okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take a new one. How it fits good here. Perhaps. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see, but I have a new filter installed. That looks great. So now we need to put on first the vacuum flaps and then the gasket. Not sure which direction. We'll see. And then the gasket. That looks great. Well, and to put this on, I need first tension the throttle. There. Now. Okay, so I think that part is done. The throttle is working. So this is the metering side. I will replace all these moving parts here. Now, this is the Welsh plug. I don't think I will replace it. I got the spec parts, but since it's a little difficult to remove it, this is jammed in here, so I probably need to drill a small hole or something to pull it out, and then put the other band back on and beat it with a hammer. I think I will skip removing that, since if it works, if it's fine inside there, I don't need to. And since I might make it worse if I try to do something. So I'll skip that. If I can't get this work, I will have to replace it. So we'll skip that and remove these. These are the parts, the old parts. And the pin here. So that's what it looks without those parts. Okay. Now this is a bit tricky to do. This one goes in here, but this is going underneath it. So let's see if I can do this in one full motion here. Okay. I think that's okay. Okay, so now next step is to this little tab here should be just about touching the screwdriver. Well, just slightly not touching it, but be very, very close. So I need to pull this up. Here I have a pretty straight edge on this old caliper. Now, this is pretty hard for me to film for you, but I can see now it's not touching. It's a little bit too, the gap is a little bit too much, so I need to pull it up a little bit more. All right, I think I have that to the correct height now. And it moves up and down, pulls up the little pin there. So now let's put on the gasket. Let's see here, several. It's that one. So the gasket goes on first. Just not sure which direction here. Is there a difference? I don't think so. That's perfect. This, and of course the metal wheel with the stick, or whatever you call it, the rod, should go down. That's what pushes on the spring thing I just installed. Okay, so I think that's it. All the new parts are in place. The throttle lever works. These high and low screws I'll have to adjust later. Okay. So I think I will just move on to install this back on the chainsaw. Connect the fuel line on the compression line here. And then test this to see if it works better before I do anything else. Okay. Okay, so now this has been restored, repaired, rebuilt. Yeah, so I'm just going to reinstall it in the chainsaw. Okay, now all the pipes are in. The fuel pipe here below, and the timer pump, timer tube from the cylinder. Let's see if we can get this on. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let's see if I have done some improvements here. Okay, let's test it.